Warner Brothers made a big splash a few months ago when it was made known that they were planning on a Justice League movie for 2015 that would feature Superman, Batman, my favorite, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Flash. Then the trouble started. They had complete script but failed to land any of the higher profile directors they were courting. Then came word that they were tossing the script and starting again. Soon after, it was revealed that WB was getting nervous about the project and was going to wait and see how the new Superman movie, Man of Steel, performed. Now there are reports coming out from WB has pretty much abandoned the 2015 date and could be looking as late as 2020 or 2021. Reports claim that Warner Brothers is considering one of two options, depending on how well Man of Steel performs at the box office. If it fails, the studio will put their focus on rebooting Batman. If it's a success, then they will instead focus on turning out 2 more films, rounding the series out to a trilogy. Either way, there seems to be no immediate plans for Justice League. John, assuming the validity of these reports, what do you think about Justice League getting the axe?
Pathetic. Pathetic. I think this is really, really sad. And it just once again shows us that an excellent studio like Warner Brothers, which is an excellent studio, they just fumbled everything when it comes to their DC properties. And it's, look, we're going to do it. No, we're not going to do it. We got a plan. No, we don't have a plan. And look, there are these 2 standing excuses that we hear for there not being a Justice League before they do their individual films. One is, we don't, and I covered this in yesterday's show, but I'll say it again. They're rushing it. If they do a 2015 Justice League, they're rushing it. So maybe it's a good idea that they're not rushing it. 2.5 years is not rushing it at all. Look, I want to remind you guys of something. Joss Whedon, when I sat down and talked to him about this particular movie he was doing, Cabin in the Woods, he mentioned, I went to a hotel one weekend with my co-writer, and we wrote the script for Cabin in the Woods in a weekend. Mm-hmm. Done. They just started not so long ago shooting Thor. That comes out at the end of this year. 2.5 years is not rushing anything. And as John Schnepp pointed out, there's this other little film coming out in 2015 that they haven't started shooting yet called Star Wars Episode 7. So this whole notion that 2015 is rushing it is garbage. You simply don't know what you're talking about if you bring that up. But here's the other objection that I hear from a lot of people. They say, well, you can't do a Justice League movie first. First, you have to do Wonder Woman. First, you have to do another Green Lantern. First, you have to do Flash, just like Marvel did it. My answer to that has been, no, you don't. I love the way Marvel did it, but I think it would be great if DC and Warner Brothers did it the opposite for themselves. Launch these smaller known characters in a Justice League movie. And look, lest you forget, yes, Avengers was a huge multi-billion-dollar movie. It made domestically $630 million. But guess what? Thor made about $180 million. Captain America made about $170 million. The last Hulk film made about $130 million. That means almost 2 out of every 3 people that went to go see the Avengers hadn't seen Thor, hadn't seen Captain America, hadn't seen the last Hulk, and yet they were able to get through Avengers just fine, just like people would have been able to get through a Justice League movie just fine. I wish they'd just come up with a plan, get some smart people involved, stick with the plan, have some confidence in your properties, and move forward with it. So this news drives me crazy, absolutely crazy. Dan, what about you?
It's a shame you don't really care about this topic.
I know, no passion.
It really is. I mean, you should really care more about your work. This is ridiculous. This really is. I mean, you would think that Marvel did the hard part. Marvel proved the formula. Marvel proved with the Avengers that this type of movie can be hugely successful. So you'd assume the guy to come next, which would be Warner Brothers with DC heroes, the road has been mapped for you. Like, just do what they did and you will have a similar success. So all of this trepidation over it, and growing up, I was a DC kid. I wasn't a Marvel kid. So the idea that, you know, the Flash and Green Lantern and Wonder Woman, that all these people together wouldn't be something people want to see, it's like, are you kidding me? Even if the script is terrible, even if they cast the wrong people, it is still going to make buttloads of money. It just will, because that's how popular these characters are. So I think it has to be a bean counter who is saying, oh, it's too much of a risk. We don't want to risk this amount of money. When you think about how much of a risk...
Because they did take a hit with Green Lantern. They did take a hit with Green Lantern.
They
so
did.
You can see where it's coming from.
But again, a standalone film.
Yeah.
And to your point, the standalone films don't do as well as the group film does. So, I think it's someone who doesn't want to take the risk that Marvel took, which, look, Marvel sat down and said, all right, we're going to spend all this money to do all of these films, and the Avengers will be in there eventually. They took a huge risk by doing that, and it paid off hugely. Someone at Warner Brothers doesn't have the guts to do the same thing. That's why I think it's this continual back and forth. And it's stupid because the fans will be there, the audience will be there, and you will make money. So just make the movie.
Agreed.
Put the fear away.
Yes.
Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure to stop what you're doing and subscribe to our AMC Theaters YouTube channel to keep up to date on all the movie news, editorials, and our AMC Movie Talk Show. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter to hear about all our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.